Hi, I'm Dr. Anita McLaughlin, a transformational counselor, podcaster, mentor, chaplain, author, and entrepreneur. And I want you to remember this: the diamonds of your life are produced through time, heat, and pressure. The cut, the clarity, and the size or the characteristics of your life's experiences will determine how you use them. And the way that you use them has great value in taking you where you want to go because they're diamonds in you. One of the reoccurring phrases that you're going to always hear me say is that becoming is a process, and that process has stages. I've told you that that is the purpose for this YouTube channel, is to help you to process all of those areas and sometimes seem to be abstract areas of your life or disconnected areas of your life, but they do connect. And I'll tell you where they connect. They connect back with you. You know that expression that says, no matter where you go, there you are? That has a lot to do with whether or not you're able to achieve the goals, the dreams, your aspirations in life, because no matter where you go, there you are. And you're going to have to do something about you in order to accomplish what you'd like in life. You know, it's easy sometimes. I see people all the time and they are able to just pick out exactly, ooh, you got this and you got that and he needs to this and if she would only, and they haven't taken a moment's time to look at their own selves, to be able to figure out why they're so judgmental, to understand why people don't want to talk to you, to understand these things. They got everything that's wrong with someone else, and they're just absolutely fine, and nobody answers the phone when they call. So it's that type thing. And I want us to understand this. When you point at someone else, you have three fingers pointing right back at you. You know, it's so many times I'll determine that I want to do a topic and I have to look at that topic in light of the flip side of that. If you're listening to this, which one are you? Are you the person who hurt, or are you the person who got hurt? Because there's healing that needs to take place in both of you. They said that hurt people hurt people. Oprah has done a book, and I can't remember the other author that co-authored it with her. But the name of it is what happened to you. Not what's wrong with you, but what happened to you. The things that we see and the way people react are not just arbitrary. They don't just drop out of the sky and, oh, I don't know why they went off and they did this. They did it because something previously had happened that they didn't have the wherewithal at that moment to be able to address. I believe we saw that in the Oscar situation. I believe that when we see things occur that it seem like they're so diametrically opposed to someone's known personality or the characteristics that they have displayed consistently over the years, that it's something that they have not dealt with. The psychological term for that is transference, where you've taken the emotions of this situation and now they've hopped up into another situation. And it's like, where in the world did that come from? It came from an area that has not been healed. So what we're looking at is being able, beloved, I wish above all things that you would prosper and be in health as your soul prospers, to look what's taking place within you. And just my saying what I just said, probably for some of you, it made you want to press the remote and get it moving or click the mouse. There's a movement that's taking place, and it's deconstructing deconstructing your beliefs. Sometimes I'm seeing it happen across different faith traditions. So I won't just say this is a Christian thing. It's happening across many faith traditions because people are questioning why I have believed the way that I believed in light of the people that I see in leadership. Why am I doing what they say to do when I can't even trust them to do what's right when my back is turned? There's a large church chain, I'll put it that way, that originated in Australia. And they have found discrepancies in their leadership. And so it has broken down and broken away. A lot of people now consider themselves to be spiritual. They're not ready to throw, and I'll put it this way, throw the baby out with the bathwater. They know that water got to get changed, but there's something about that holds intricate value. And I found myself in that place to be able to understand that there is validity in areas that I had been taught was not. What's one of those, Dr. Anita? Meditation. What is meditation? Meditation is quieting and stilling yourself and putting yourself in a position so that you can hear internally from the Creator. Well, what do you mean internally? Isn't that, I don't know about that. Well, you should. Because if we are spiritual beings and we have a Creator, God, source, the universe, and we can't connect to that because our head is telling us, ooh, be scared, be scary. That's too scary. You can't do that. They taught me against that. Well, then we need to, again, look at what we truly believe and what we don't. Now, there's some people who are deconstructing their belief system to the point that they have weakened everything about themselves because now they don't know what to believe, and they're being again led in a direction that may not be as healthy as it needs to be. There needs to be a balance. There has to be a balance in all things in our lives. And we also have to use some wisdom. We have to think about the things that we are allowing in our lives, the people that we are allowing in our lives, and whether or not that's going to be healthy in terms of, I wish above all things you prosper and be in health as your mind, your will, and your emotions prosper. And if it's not, then we have to make some very crucial decisions for our own lives. I talked to you before about other people's opinions, being so determined to do what someone else says to do until I'm not being true to who I am. And that also will lead you to a place where you cannot prosper in your spirit, soul, and body. You will not prosper in your mind, will, and emotions, in that soulish part of yourself. And if you can't prosper there, you can't receive anything. Law of attraction, laws of the universe, anything. You're not going to receive anything until you have a perception modification, until you change the way you're looking at things. Sometimes we as human beings awfulize, and that means that, oh my God, everything is just it's just over the top. Everything is just so bad, and I can't go any farther, and this is just too difficult, and I got to get rid of you. And it's not necessarily you need to get rid of that person, more so than you need to be able to be with that person and determine what you will and will not do. And that's called having boundaries. Having boundaries. I shared a little bit about my life and my history. And there is another term that I want to bring to you, which is called enmeshment. Being enmeshed in a relationship, where if you can picture two circles, separate people, and those circles can overlap, but on the outside of that circle you have that individual and the other individual, and that little portion where it overlaps is where their relationship is. Then there's another example of you got a circle, you got another circle right on top of it. And they are so enmeshed in a relationship until they lose who they are individually. That's not a healthy place to be. I know because I was there. I was enmeshed in a marriage with my first husband to the degree that I lost me. I lost who I was. I knew everything about him, but I lost me. And it came to my attention because somebody asked me what was my favorite color. And when you get stumped, when somebody asks you, what's your favorite color? Baby, you are enmeshed, okay? And I had to go back and realize, it brought me to a place of realization that something had transpired in my life that caused me to lose me. You know, in relationships, people also talk about the fact that the same thing it took to get them, it takes to keep them, to keep the relationship. And when you were interesting and when you had opinions and when you were busy doing things, maybe that is what attracted the other person to you. And now you're doing none of that because you have been enmeshed to the point that there is no longer a you. There's no longer a you, it's only an us. And when we get to that, we lose the attraction that the other person had, because what they're doing is almost like swimming in dirty water. I can't get anything fresh in this place. So, someone asked me a couple of weeks ago, what about the Dead Sea? What makes the Dead Sea the Dead Sea? The Dead Sea is dead because it has no fresh input. There's nothing new coming into it, and there's no way to get the old out of it. So when we look at our relationships, are we just circling in the same dirty water? Or do we have something new and fresh? Do we have something to add to the day? Sometimes people, when they are at home, they're the care provider for children at home or for a parent. They don't have that inroad to get new information. But I beg to differ. I believe that you do. And it's utilizing everything that is in your power to use in order to change your mental status and who you are and where you are. I began, when I started researching for this YouTube channel, there were some people that I really liked. Really liked. One lady, Fumi Di Salovode. I love Fumi. I love Fumi. She has such energy and she brings practical information. If you're dealing with a lack of practicality, if you're not able to use your logic and follow the dots to get from point A to point Z, that would be a really good person to begin to watch. She does some sister to sister talks with Fumi Nation, as she calls them. And through that, you can get some real wisdom. You can begin to learn how to discern or recognize what's taking place around you. There's another lady that I truly like. Her name is Angela Michelle, and her husband, she's a fashion style station. And she teaches you how to upgrade your wardrobe. There's some, Fumi does makeup. They both have seemingly very healthy and vibrant relationships. Look at some of those people. Sometimes we say, well, you know, Dr. Anita, I'm not interested in that. I want to learn about this. Utilize what you have to learn when you are at home, when you're doing and taking care of the responsibilities that there are for you to care for. You don't necessarily have to go out and take a course. You can take a course online and begin to, again, give yourself some inroads for some new inspiration, for some new input, and allowing out to be able to flow out some of those issues that you deal with on a daily basis that are causing you frustration. It is not someone else's responsibility to fill you up. It's your responsibility to do that. And when you can begin to be an individual in a relationship where there's another person, but you're not so entwined until you're all in one ball, but you can begin to be a little farther out, but still connected to one another, you'll find the value in that relationship again. Sometimes it's not the other person that's the problem. Sometimes those three fingers are pointing back at us. These are just a few of the things that we're going to be looking at. We're going to go further into deconstructing our belief systems, because sometimes we need to put a few of those boards back in so that we can walk across the expanse that's facing us to get to the other side. Sometimes we have thrown the baby out with the bathwater. Sometimes we have given away what our actual strength was because we didn't know, through a lack of perception modification, how to interpret what was being said, done, or what we should have understood. And there are times when we should be a lot farther going down the road, but we aren't. And so those are the things that we're going to continue to look at. If this has been in any way interesting to you, I need your help. I need you to subscribe. I need you to press the like button, and I need you to tell somebody. I want you to go to my podcast, listen to the past year's podcast so you can get ahead and understand what we're talking about right now in real time. We're going to move farther. We're going to move faster. And the more that you understand, the more that we can do. Please take the time to get still, quiet the surroundings and get still. Begin to listen for that still, quiet voice within you, which is God, creator, source, the universe, seeking to reconnect to you. Know this: there are diamonds in you.